What if one moment could shift everything, but only if you act before September 27? Opportunities, signs, and turning points often pass quietly, never returning the same way again. This message isn't here by accident. It's your reminder to pay attention, because missing it now could mean missing it forever. Stay tuned, this could change everything. 1. The urgency of divine timing. Life is not just a series of random events. It's a carefully woven pattern where certain moments hold more power than others. Divine timing is about those unique windows in life where everything aligns, opportunities, guidance, and circumstances, to push you toward growth or change. These moments don't come every day, and once they pass, they may not return in the same way again. That's why understanding and respecting divine timing is so important. Think about it like a train station. Trains arrive and depart at scheduled times. If you're alert and ready, you step on board and move forward to your next destination. But if you're distracted or hesitant, you miss that train, and with it, the chance to move ahead quickly. Sure, another train may come later, but it won't be the same one, heading to the same place at the same moment. Divine timing works in a similar way. It's about catching the right train for your life's journey. Many people overlook these moments because they expect opportunities to knock loudly. But often, divine timing whispers instead of shouts. It could appear as an unexpected conversation, a sudden idea, or a gut feeling urging you to act. The challenge is recognizing it and trusting it. Imagine someone who feels a strong push to start a project, but they delay thinking they have endless time. Months later, when they're finally ready, the spark has faded, the resources are gone, or the opportunity has shifted to someone else. That's the cost of ignoring divine timing. The urgency here isn't about rushing blindly. It's about being awake, prepared, and responsive. When a door opens, walk through it before it closes. When a sign shows up, reflect and act, rather than dismissing it as coincidence. Divine timing rewards those who honor it with faith and action. Ultimately, the urgency of divine timing teaches us to live attentively, to value the present, and to realize that not all chances are eternal. Some are designed to push us into growth now, not later. And if we can recognize and seize them, they can shift the entire course of our lives in ways we never imagined. 2. Why September 27th holds symbolic meaning. Dates often carry more than just numbers. They can hold symbolic energy, serving as markers of transition, reflection, or awakening. September 27th is one such date that many people feel drawn to. Not because of superstition, but because of what it represents, the closing of one season in the preparation for another. Spiritually and emotionally, it's a threshold between what has been and what is about to come. September sits at a powerful point in the calendar year. It marks the end of summer's energy and the beginning of autumn's reflective season. Around this time, nature itself is teaching us an important lesson. Leaves begin to change and fall, symbolizing release and transformation. The air becomes cooler, signaling preparation for a quieter, more inward season. September 27th, sitting right at the heart of this transition, can be seen as a reminder that letting go of the old makes space for the new. Many people also feel an inner pull during this time of year. You might notice more thoughts about where your life is headed, what you've achieved so far, and what you still need to change. This isn't accidental. Our minds and spirits naturally align with cycles of nature, and late September becomes a mirror, reflecting the need to shed habits, fears, or doubts that no longer serve us. For some, September 27th may act as a deadline, a moment when procrastination must end. If you've been delaying an important decision, putting off growth, or ignoring an inner calling, this date can symbolize the point where hesitation must turn into action. The number itself doesn't hold magic on its own. Instead, the meaning comes from what you choose to attach to it. When you treat it as a sacred marker, it becomes a turning point, urging you to act before the window closes. So why does September 27th matter? Because it challenges you to pause, reflect, and reset. It's a symbolic checkpoint, reminding you that life is moving forward with or without your participation. If you use this date intentionally, whether to start something new, release the unnecessary, or commit to personal growth, you give yourself the gift of alignment. And once that moment passes, its exact energy will not return. 3. How opportunities are often hidden in plain sight. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about opportunities is that they expect them to arrive dressed in bright lights, loud announcements, or dramatic changes. In reality, life's most transformative opportunities often come quietly, disguised as ordinary moments. They don't always look like golden doors. Sometimes they appear as small nudges, everyday encounters, or even challenges that force us to grow. Think about it. A casual conversation with a stranger might plant the seed of a new idea. A book that falls into your hands at the right time could shift your perspective entirely. Even a setback, like losing a job or facing rejection, can be the very push that redirects you toward a path you were meant to walk. Yet most people overlook these moments because they're too focused on searching for something big or waiting for the perfect scenario. The truth is, opportunities rarely announce themselves. Instead, they hide within situations that demand awareness and openness. Imagine someone who wants to improve their life financially but ignores a small side project because it seems insignificant. Years later, they realize that project could have been the foundation of something massive. What was dismissed as too small was actually the seed of success. This is why perspective matters. Opportunities often hide in plain sight, not because they are rare, but because we fail to recognize them. We're conditioned to look for dramatic breakthroughs when, in reality, life delivers chances for growth through simple, everyday interactions. The challenge lies in training your mind to see beyond the surface. A powerful way to uncover hidden opportunities is to shift from asking, "What's missing?" to "What's already here that I can use?" That change in mindset allows you to see resources, connections, and lessons that were always within reach. Many successful people will tell you their big break wasn't luck. It was recognizing something small and treating it as valuable when others ignored it. So the next time you feel stuck or think opportunities are scarce, pause and look again. The signs, resources, and chances are often already around you. All it takes is a bit of awareness, courage, and faith to act on what most people dismiss. That's how ordinary moments turn into extraordinary turning points. 4. The danger of procrastination and waiting too long. Procrastination is one of the quietest but most destructive habits we can fall into. It doesn't always feel dangerous in the moment. After all, telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," seems harmless. But when repeated over weeks, months, or even years, procrastination steals time, drains potential, and leaves people living a life far smaller than what they're capable of. The danger lies in how subtle it is. Unlike obvious mistakes, procrastination hides under the illusion of safety. It convinces you that you still have plenty of time, that the right moment will come later, or that you'll feel more ready in the future. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect moment. Waiting too long often means the opportunity moves on, the spark fades, or the door closes permanently. Think of a person who dreams of starting a business. They research, plan, and talk about it endlessly, but never take the first step. Years later, they see others succeed in the very idea they once had. The difference wasn't talent or luck, it was action. Procrastination caused them to stand still while life moved forward without them. What makes procrastination so dangerous is that it's often fueled by fear disguised as logic. You delay because you want more certainty, more resources, or more confidence. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. The longer you wait, the more fear grows, and the harder it becomes to break the cycle. The key to overcoming this danger is realizing that small steps taken today are more powerful than big steps you keep postponing. Even imperfect action moves you closer to your goals, while waiting keeps you stuck. If you delay too long, you risk living with regret, wondering what could have been if you had acted sooner. Remember this: life does not wait. Opportunities have an expiration date. People, circumstances, and even your own energy will change over time. The cost of procrastination isn't just wasted time, it's missed growth, missed blessings, and missed alignment with your purpose. The lesson is simple. Don't wait for someday, start now. Even the smallest action today has the power to shift your entire future. Tomorrow isn't promised, but today is in your hands. 5. Recognizing signs and synchronicities in daily life. Life is constantly speaking to us, but most of the time we're too distracted to notice. Signs and synchronicities are the universe's way of guiding, affirming, or redirecting us. They appear in ordinary moments yet carry extraordinary meaning. Learning to recognize them is like tuning into a hidden frequency. Once you do, you realize guidance has been there all along. Synchronicities are those meaningful coincidences that feel too aligned to be random. Maybe you're thinking about starting something new, and suddenly you meet someone who offers the exact help you need. Or perhaps a specific number, word, or symbol keeps showing up everywhere you go, nudging you toward reflection. These aren't accidents. They're gentle confirmations that you're on the right path or reminders that it's time to pay attention. The challenge is that signs are often subtle. They don't shout, they whisper. That's why awareness is key. When you rush through life on autopilot, you miss them. But when you slow down, stay present, and keep your mind open, patterns start to reveal themselves. It could be a repeated dream, a phrase you keep hearing from different people, or even an obstacle that keeps appearing until you finally address what it's teaching you. For example, imagine someone who keeps encountering conversations about health. A friend mentions it, they randomly see an article, and even a stranger brings it up. That repetition is more than coincidence. It's a sign urging them to prioritize their well-being. If ignored, the message often grows louder until it becomes impossible to overlook. Recognizing signs also requires trust. Our logical minds like to dismiss them as random, but your intuition knows when something carries weight. Trusting that inner knowing allows you to connect the dots and act with confidence. The beauty of synchronicities is that they remind us we're not walking this journey alone. There's guidance, order, and purpose woven into our daily lives. By paying attention, you align yourself with that flow instead of fighting against it. So the next time you experience a strange coincidence, pause and reflect. What is this moment trying to tell me? Often the answer is exactly what you've been needing to hear. Signs and synchronicities are invitations, and when you recognize them, they open the door to deeper alignment and transformation. 6. Aligning with spiritual guidance. Before it's too late. Every person has an inner compass, a voice, a feeling, or a sense of direction that whispers what is right for them. Some call it intuition, others call it divine guidance. Whatever name you give it, this inner guidance system exists to keep you aligned with your higher path. The challenge is that many people ignore it until life forces them to pay attention. By then, opportunities may be gone, and the cost of delay can be heavy. Spiritual guidance often comes in simple ways: a strong gut feeling, repeated dreams, or even discomfort in situations that no longer serve you. These nudges are not random. They are signals pointing you toward growth and away from harm. The danger comes when you dismiss them, convincing yourself that logic or comfort matters more. Over time, ignoring guidance creates inner conflict, leading to missed chances and unnecessary struggles. Think about someone who feels a constant urge to change careers, but stays in the same draining job because it feels safer. Eventually, burnout sets in, and the chance to transition with strength has passed. Or consider a person who feels called to repair a relationship but waits too long, only to find the other person has moved on. Spiritual guidance always points us forward, but if we resist, life still moves, only without our alignment. The urgency here is not about fear, but about responsibility. Aligning with guidance means choosing to act when the signs are fresh, when the door is open, and when your spirit feels the pull. Waiting too long often makes the path harder, if not impossible. Alignment also requires trust. Sometimes guidance doesn't make sense at first. It might push you into discomfort, risk, or unfamiliar territory. But that's the point. Growth never happens in your comfort zone. When you trust spiritual direction and act on it, you discover strength, clarity, and blessings you couldn't have imagined. The truth is, guidance is a gift, not a guarantee. It comes with an expiration date. The opportunity to align won't last forever because seasons change and doors close. The wisest choice is to listen, trust, and act now. before someday becomes too late 7. The role of self-discipline in seizing moments. Opportunities often arrive suddenly, but whether we can make the most of them depends on our level of self-discipline. Many people assume that success or transformation is about luck, timing, or even talent. While those things play a role, none of them matter without discipline, the ability to act consistently, even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or difficult. Self-discipline is what transforms intention into reality. You may recognize the perfect opportunity, feel inspired, and even know what needs to be done. But without the habit of taking action, all of that remains just potential. Think of discipline as the bridge between desire and achievement. It's not glamorous, but it's what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. For example, imagine someone who wants to write a book. Inspiration strikes, but discipline is what pushes them to sit down daily, even on uninspired days, until the manuscript is complete. Or consider someone who wants to improve their health. The opportunity to join a program or adopt a new routine may present itself, but only discipline ensures they follow through consistently enough to see results. The danger of lacking discipline is that opportunities slip away before they can bear fruit. You might start strong, but lose momentum because you rely solely on excitement. Excitement fades, discipline remains. That's why the people who achieve meaningful change aren't always the most talented or the luckiest. They are the most consistent. Building self-discipline doesn't mean living rigidly. It's about training your mind to honor commitments to yourself. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. At its core, discipline is a form of self-respect. It says, I value my future enough to do what's needed today. When opportunities come, discipline allows you to act quickly and sustain progress. Without it, you either hesitate until the moment passes or start but never finish. Seizing the right moment isn't just about recognizing it. It's about having the strength and habits to follow through. In the end, self-discipline is freedom. It frees you from regret, wasted chances, and half-lived potential. If you want to make the most of divine timing, discipline isn't optional. It's essential. 8. Letting go of distractions to stay focused. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Notifications buzz on our phones, endless content pulls our attention, and small tasks constantly compete for space in our minds. While none of these distractions may seem harmful individually, together they drain the energy and focus needed to recognize and act on opportunities. The truth is, you cannot seize the right moment if your attention is scattered in 100 directions. Focus is like sunlight. When spread out, it warms but doesn't transform. But when concentrated, like a magnifying glass, it has the power to ignite. The same applies to your life. When you focus your energy on what matters most, even small steps lead to major breakthroughs. But when you allow distractions to control you, opportunities pass unnoticed or unfinished. Many people miss life-changing chances simply because they were too busy scrolling, overthinking, or multitasking. Imagine someone who has an idea that could change their future, but spends hours every day caught in distractions. By the time they try to act, the moment has already moved on. Distractions don't just steal time, they steal destiny. Letting go of distractions doesn't mean cutting out everything enjoyable. It means choosing wisely what gets your energy. Ask yourself, does this help me move closer to my purpose, or does it pull me further away? When you start filtering your attention this way, clarity increases and focus strengthens. Practical steps make this easier. Turning off unnecessary notifications, setting specific times for social media, creating quiet spaces for reflection, and giving yourself daily non-negotiable tasks that align with your goals. These small shifts build habits that protect your focus. The reward for letting go of distractions is not just productivity, it's presence. You begin to notice signs, opportunities, and moments of inspiration that were always there but buried under noise. With focus, you can act decisively and give your full energy to the opportunities that matter. Ultimately, distractions are like thieves. They steal your most precious resource, time. By letting them go, you reclaim your attention and direct it toward what truly counts. And in doing so, you position yourself to catch opportunities before they disappear. 9. Transforming fear into decisive action. Fear is one of the biggest barriers between people and their potential. It shows up in many forms. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. While fear feels protective, in reality, it often keeps us stuck, watching opportunities slip away. The key is not to eliminate fear completely, but to transform it into fuel for decisive action. Fear usually arises when we're standing on the edge of something meaningful. Think about it. You rarely feel fear when doing something ordinary or comfortable. Fear appears when growth is near. That means the very presence of fear is often a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Instead of letting it paralyze you, learn to see it as proof that you're stepping into new territory worth pursuing. The difference between people who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't that one group has no fear. Both feel it. The difference is how they respond. Successful people act despite fear. They reframe it as excitement, challenge, or opportunity. For example, an entrepreneur may fear failure, but still launches their business, knowing that inaction guarantees nothing, while action offers possibility. One powerful way to transform fear is to shrink the step. Instead of focusing on the entire journey, focus on the next small action you can take. Fear thrives on imagining the worst-case scenario, but when you break things down, it loses its grip. Another approach is to ask, what will it cost me if I don't act? Often, the regret of missed chances is far greater than the risk of trying and failing. Faith also plays a role, trusting that you're being guided and that every step, even imperfect ones, leads to growth, helps shift fear into courage. When you believe you're supported, fear becomes less of a wall and more of a doorway. Decisive action doesn't mean recklessness. It means moving forward with clarity, even if fear tags along. Every time you choose action over hesitation, fear loses its power and confidence grows. Ultimately, fear is not your enemy. It's a signal of opportunity. By transforming it into decisive action, you unlock doors that hesitation would keep closed. The question is simple. Will you let fear control you, or will you use it as the push you need to step forward? 10. Preparing your heart and mind for lasting change. True transformation doesn't happen by accident. It requires preparation, not just of your circumstances, but of your heart and mind. Lasting change isn't about temporary motivation or short bursts of effort. It's about building a foundation strong enough to carry you through challenges, setbacks, and seasons of doubt. Preparing yourself internally is what allows external opportunities to take root and grow. The heart must be prepared first. This means being willing to release old fears, grudges, and limiting beliefs that weigh you down. You can't step into a new chapter if you're still clinging to the baggage of the old one. For example, if you want healthier relationships, you must first let go of bitterness or mistrust. If you want new opportunities, you must open your heart to receive them without self-sabotage. A prepared heart is one that's soft enough to grow, yet strong enough to endure. The mind, on the other hand, needs clarity and resilience. Change always tests your mental patterns, so training your mind to focus on possibilities instead of problems is essential. Developing habits like daily reflection, journaling, or affirmations can rewire your thoughts towards strength and optimism. When the mind is prepared, obstacles become lessons instead of excuses. Practical preparation also matters. If you want to embrace new opportunities, ask yourself, am I mentally and emotionally ready for the responsibilities that come with them? For instance, someone who dreams of success must prepare by cultivating discipline, patience, and humility. Without this inner readiness, blessings can turn into burdens. Another key aspect of preparation is vision. When your heart and mind are aligned with a clear sense of purpose, you recognize opportunities faster and act on them with confidence. Vision acts as your compass, keeping you steady when distractions, doubts, or delays try to push you off course. Lasting change doesn't come overnight, but preparation ensures it lasts once it begins. A tree grows strong not because of its leaves, but because of its roots. In the same way, preparing your heart and mind creates roots deep enough to support growth that will endure storms. So before September 27th, or any defining moment, ask yourself, is my heart open? Is my mind ready? Because when preparation meets opportunity, transformation becomes inevitable. Moments like this won't return. Act now with faith and courage. This is quantum power, Like, share, subscribe, and comment. I am ready for transformation.